Yes, children, welcome back. In the previous slide, we saw about the distributaries. Okay, reverse distributary. This sessions we discussed about the exogenic forces. Okay, exogenic forces means the changes happened on the Earth's surface because of the outside, the surface, outside surface of the Earth, because of the forces getting from the outside of the Earth. Okay, that first one we are seeing the work of river. Okay, here we saw about the first waterfall. Okay, why we taken the river means the river is the important element to deposition and for erosion. Okay, erosion also making a huge changes on the earth, and deposition also making a huge changes on the earth. So we are first select the work of rivers. First we saw the waterfall. Waterfall means what? The water at the stream. The water falls from a steep. Okay, that place are called waterfalls. Then we saw the meanders. Okay, due to the course of the river, it will not run on its course straightly. Okay, it bends according to the landform. Okay, that bends are called meanders. The meanders come closer to close when it is bend. Okay, when it is bend, the bends comes near closer to one another. That place making a lake. That lakes look like a oxbow. Okay, we are saying that is oxbow lake. After that oxbow lake, we saw the distributaries or levees. Okay, that levees means the course of rivers. It erode the soil and deposit the silt soil and other materials on the side of the rivers. That raised banks are called levees. Then we saw the distributaries. Distributaries means what? The main river distribute its water to the small river, or the main river divided itself into small river. That's called a distributary. Okay. Then when the course of the distributary, the slow flow of water speed is slow. Okay. Here the delta. What is delta? The distributary. Okay, the distributary means the channels or the small rivers or the streams distribute its water to the to the agricultural purpose to the nearby areas. Okay. So that time uses of this river's water used for the purpose of agriculture. Okay, that place are called delta. Otherwise, the banks of rivers use the river's water for making agriculture. Okay, so that's areas are called delta. Example, Kaveri Delta. We are saying Kaveri Delta. That means the river Kaveri water is used for the irrigational purpose and it make the land fertile. That area are called deltas. Okay, here the river becomes becomes slow that it begins to deposit its load. Okay, what if it is slow means what? The heat eroded a lot of things. Okay, taken a lot of things. It deposited that things because now it is very slow. It causes very slow. Okay, so it deposits the materials. What at all it brings. Each distributary forms its own mouth. Like that, it deposits its load. That time, it's forming its own mouth means vent or a open. The collection of sediments from all the mouths form a delta. Okay, that here you see in the picture. Okay, here when it goes, it started to deposit the soil in the bottom picture in the rivers. When it is small and it's slow, it started to deposit the silt soil. And you see the first picture, then it looking like a agricultural land. Like that formed lands are called delta. Okay, children? The collection of sediments from all the mouths of distributaries forms a delta. Okay, children? Yes, the next one. work of waves, okay, work of sea waves. Okay, the exogenic forces we going to see work of sea waves. Okay, yes, what the waves doing the work of sea waves, the erosion and deposition of the sea waves. How we saw that rivers, the erosion and the deposition makes a changes on the surface of the earth, like that. Here the sea waves also makes the deposition and erosion, gives rise to coastal landforms. Coastal landforms means what? The landforms near to the coastal areas. Okay, that here the erosion and deposition of the sea waves gives rise to coastal landforms. Sea waves continuously strike at the rocks. If you are going to the seaside means we can see that sea waves continuously hit the rocks. It strike means hit the rocks. It because of that the cracks are develop in the rocks. Okay, do you understand what I am saying? The cracks are develop on the rocks because of the sea waves continuously strike at the rocks. Okay, children. Yes, if you are going to the Pondicherry beach means we can see a lot of rocks are there in the Pondicherry beach, and Vivekananda rock, even in the Mahabalipuram, that places we can see the waves hit the rocks. Okay, because of the hitting, the cracks developing on the rocks. Okay, then automatically what will happen? The cracks develop and the rock started to divide. Okay, so next what's happening? Here you see the beach. Okay, bay, headland, arch, stock, and caves, everything. Okay, that you're going to see. Yes, because of the hit that sea waves continuously strike the rocks. Okay, the cracks develop and that the strengthless places started to eroded. Okay, eroded means what? Eroding. Okay, removing. Okay, the strengthless portions, the cavities start to cavities. Okay, over time the cracks become larger and wider. Okay, continuously hitting and making a hole, like that hole become larger and wider. The hollow like caves are formed on the rocks. They are called sea caves. Okay, children, listen, the huge rocks are there in the sea. The sea waves continuously strike the rocks. The strengthless portion, the weak portion start getting the cavity or crack. That crack developed and rocks broken. That hole or cavity become very larger and wider. It shows like a hollow. That hollow formed the rocks that they are called. We are called that as sea caves. Children, I hope you understand what is called sea caves. Okay, because now this is the exogenic force. Which one? The waves. What? The sea waves are the exogenic forces. It make the changes on the rock. Already it was a rock. Now it turned into a sea caves. Okay. Yes, the sea caves change because of again the waves striking. What? As the cavities or the hollow means what? A small gap or cavities we are saying. Okay, hole. As the cavities of the rocks become bigger and bigger, only the roof of the caves remain, thus forming sea arches. Okay, now what will happen? The weak portion of the rock removed, eroded fully because of the sea waves hitting. Okay, now what will happen? The holes become very bigger. Now both ends meet. Okay, only the roof is appear. Okay, thus forming sea arches. Okay, thus forming sea arches. Yes, children, already it was a big rock. Because of the continuous hitting of the sea waves, it turn into a sea caves. Again continuous erosion, now it becomes sea arches. Okay children? Yes. Then again, what change is going to happen? Yes, you see, the next change is tarks. Okay. Erosion breakup. Now, the roof also removed by the waves. Okay. The waves continuously strike and the roof also removed. Okay, eroded. Now, what will happen? In both sides, like a pillar. Okay, that rocks looking like a pillar. That forms features we are called stalks. Okay. Erosion breaks the roof and only walls are left. These walls like features are called stalks. Okay children? Yes. Now because of the sea waves, the exogenic force, what are the changes happen in the rock surface? That is rocks, sea caves, sea arches and stalks. Okay. So, today we saw two exogenic forces. What is that? Work of rivers and work of sea waves. Okay. The work of rivers, it also making lot of changes in its course. Okay. What are that? We will recap. Before that, sea cliff. Okay. Now, what is sea cliff? Okay. Here, sea cliff and beaches. Okay. Both I given here. Sea cliff and beaches. Okay, listen. The steep rocky coast rising almost vertically above sea water is called sea cliff. The sea waves deposit sediments along the shores forming beaches. The steep rocky coast. Okay, the rocks are rising almost vertically above sea water is called. Okay, that place are called sea cliff. Okay, and the water of the sea waves taking the sands and deposit in the places that deposit sedimentations along the shores forming beaches. Okay, now you understand what is cliff? Rocky coast rising almost vertically. Okay, the rocky area because of the sea hitting continuously, that it is vertically rising. Okay, horizontal rising is not, it is vertically rising, means that is the bottom is eroded by the sea waves, so it's vertically raised. That place are called sea cliff, and the depositing say on the sea shores forming the beaches. Okay, now you learned, now you knew about the sea caves, sea arches, stalks and sea cliff, beaches. Okay children. Now earth movements. That earth movements are divided into endogenic forces and exogenic forces. Because of these two forces, there is a lot of changes on the earth happen on the surface of the earth. That endogenic forces is sudden forces, that's called dysotrophic forces, that means sudden forces. That sudden forces causes the earthquake, volcano, landslides and building mountains. Okay, earthquake we know, volcano also and landslides. Today we saw the exogenic forces. The changes happen on the surface of the earth because of the outsides. That is erosional and depositional. Erosional means it's remove a place because of some reason. Depositional means it creates some places. That we saw the river wind today. The river and sea waves we completed today. The river. What are the changes rivers happens? River given on the earth. The bends are called the water. It falls from the steep are called waterfalls. Then the bends are called meander. The meander make the oxbow lake. Because of the oxbow lake, it is banks is raised. That banks are raised banks are called levees. Then sea waves. What are the works done by the sea waves? Okay children? Yes, sea caves, sea arches, stalks, everything. What is erosion? Due to the river course. Okay. the erosionals making the soil taking from one place to another place and deposited in another. How is waterfall formed? It falls from a deep place. Yes. Wait a minute, children. Yes. We will. What is meander? How is it formed? What are oxbow lakes? The river begins to deposit its load when it becomes. What are sea waves? How are caves formed along the coast? Give the difference between a sea cliff and a sea beach. Okay, children. Thank you. We will meet in the next session. Thank you, dear. Bye. Take care.